plus. Oh my god. What is this trickery?
I'm so tired, but I can't, but I need to post the video.
Mind tricks on Miss Lauren. Not having it, Sam.
Do you guys like the copyright-free music that I put in the background? I'm trying to make it like better. Let me turn it down. Okay, so I feel like the topic of today's video, which if you read the title, you know, but if this just came up and you didn't have time to read the title, hi, I'm Emma, and we're going to be talking about parasocial relationships and how out of hand they've been getting, especially in late recent years. A few years ago, 2019, 2018, being a fan meant buying a poster, maybe a t-shirt, you know, maybe knowing a little too much about your favorite celebrity. Now, people know what side of bed their favorite creator sleeps on. They know childhood pets, their exes, even if they weren't dating online. Their siblings, their addresses, their schedules, their favorite coffee orders, their friends, and somehow we've all collectively decided that's normal. Because somewhere along the way, the internet stopped creating audiences and started creating relationships, or at least the illusion of them. Today we're talking about parasocial relationships, why they're getting worse, why people are becoming frighteningly comfortable with stalking behavior, why the internet fame is creating a new kind of celebrity, why the line between fan and stranger is disappearing. There's a phrase that gets thrown around the internet constantly, parasocial. Usually it's used as an insult. You don't know them, stop being parasocial. That's weird, but the truth is, almost everyone online has experienced a parasocial relationship. Not all of them are harmful. But the problem starts when people stop recognizing where their relationship actually ends. Because it does end, no matter how close someone feels through a screen. Now, since the term parasocial relationship gets bounced around a lot, you probably don't know the actual meaning of it, which is fine because I really didn't understand the true meaning before I started writing the script of this video 2 days ago. So, let's go over the actual meaning, shall we? A parasocial relationship is a one-sided emotional connection. You know someone, they don't know you. Simple. The concept actually predates the internet. People form parasocial relationships with radio hosts, actors, television personalities. That's a big word. Athletes, even news anchors. But social media changed everything. Social media has changed everything in general, but it's changed everything, especially for parasocial relationships. Because television never pretended celebrities were your friends. TikTok does, especially with the oversharing problem on TikTok. Come on, guys, you don't need to tell us everything about your life. Trust me, I'm doing just fine, and you guys don't even know my last name. YouTube also does. Live streaming 100% does. The entire appeal of internet culture is accessibility. Creators sit in bedrooms, like me, talk directly to cameras, like we're doing right now, tell personal stories, no, cry on camera, no, celebrate milestones, yes, share struggles, and naturally your brain starts categorizing them differently, not as celebrities, but as people you know, even though you've never actually met them. Here's the scary part. Your brain isn't designed for this. Humans evolved in small communities. You're supposed to know maybe a few hundred people, not consume thousands of personalities a day, not watch someone for 6 hours every week, not know intimate details about strangers' lives when they have absolutely no idea you exist. From a psychological standpoint, that's bizarre, yet we've normalized it. Imagine explaining to a modern fandom to someone from the 1950s, I know everything about this person. Are they your friend? No. Family? No. Neighbor? No. Have you met them? No. Do they know you? No. Then why are you emotionally devastated when they start dating someone? Let me go fit. Who said that? Who said that? The most successful creators aren't necessarily the most talented. They're often the most relatable, or the people that or they have cute thumbnails, or they just make topics that interest certain people, like true crime, or this commentary. The internet rewards familiarity. I'm sorry, I have a speech impediment. That's why so many creators build brands around authenticity. They vlog, they overshare, they tell stories. They create a feeling that viewers are hanging out with them. And for many creators, that's harmless, but it creates a strange situation. The creator remains a stranger. The viewers begin to feel genuine emotional closeness. The imbalance can become dangerous because one side understands the relationship is professional, the other side sometimes forgets. And it's kind of like seeing when someone raised you on the internet. And you feel like that bond with them. I feel that with some creators, but I don't go around saying, oh, blah, blah, blah is my mom. No. I think that's weird. Also, in 2020, we had a big problem with this because on TikTok, no one really had a place. So they started making communities. The anime community, the gacha community, the furry community, the LGBTQ plus community. Everyone had a community, right? No. I'm not going to go any further because I forgot my train of thought. Now, sometimes fans decide that they want to know more stuff that isn't technically in the public view. They want to know everything about this person. That's where things get uncomfortable. They want more and more and more. Fans locate apartments, track flights, monitor social media activity, analyze backgrounds and photos, cross-reference timestamps, investigate friend groups, study family members, document relationships, and somehow it always gets
with Emily.
Hi guys, Emma here.
Has over 2,000 likes and over 72,000 dislikes. But
I'm editing right now, and that cut, I didn't do it on purpose. My storage was full, so we started recording and editing, and
Emily's lawyers and reached.
it always gets framed as being a fan, but it's not just being a fan, you're being a stalker. It really isn't just being a fan, you're being a stalker, you're surveilling them like prison guards watching the hot inmates. The internet has normalized investigative behavior that would be terrifying in any other context. Imagine following a stranger through the grocery store while taking notes. Most people call the police. Doodle 9, some community calls it dedication. Swifties. Who said that? Watch me get doxxed. Now I need to talk about internet culture, the phenomenon commonly called lol cows. For people unfamiliar with a lol cow is essentially someone who becomes an ongoing source of internet ridicule. Entire communities form around watching them, documenting them, analyzing them, mocking them, tracking every decision they make. And here's the problem. Many people justify this behavior as because the target is controversial or annoying or has done something embarrassing, but eventually something strange happens. The criticism becomes secondary. The obsession becomes primary. People begin spending years monitoring another person's life, not because it's important, not because it affects them, but because they become emotionally invested in the spectacle. And at that point, who exactly is behaving irrationally? Let's use a broader example. Internet personalities who becomes constant discussion topics end up often stop being viewed as people. They become content, characters, narratives, ongoing television shows. Every mistake becomes an episode. Every relationship becomes a storyline. every conflict becomes a season finale. Viewers begin consuming real human lives like fictional entertainment, and that's dangerous because reality doesn't have writers. These are actual people, experience actual consequences. But the internet audiences often stop seeing them as that distinction and see them as people from TV shows. But they're not. They're real people. But people are stalking them, doxing them, and doing all sorts of bad stuff because you didn't like them. But parasocial behavior doesn't only happen with controversial figures. It happens with beloved creators too. Fans create elaborate theories, track friendships, speculate about private relationships, analyze body languages, study every interaction, interpret every social media post. And because the intentions seem positive, people overlook how invasive it becomes. Obsession doesn't become healthy just because it's supportive. A lack of boundaries is a lack of boundaries. Like, let's say that I came on here, said, I'm in love with Billie Eilish and I'm fixing to dox her address right now. How would you feel? Now, if you're one of the people that like to dox figures online, whether they be controversial or not, let's have a chat with each other, shall we? Okay? And the main reason why I wrote this is because of last year, the Cernio triplets, I think. Yeah, it was last year, I think. Their address got doxed again. Someone put a tracking device on one of the Calgary sisters' car. Are we hearing ourselves? The internet has gone so insane. What the fuck is wrong with people? One reason creators like the Cernio triplets become useful examples is because they represent a newer type of internet celebrity. Not just Hollywood stars, not musicians hidden behind management teams. They feel accessible. They film conversations, share daily experiences, appear approachable, which creates stronger parasocial attachments. Many fans understand boundaries perfectly well, don't get me wrong, but the small percentage that don't begin feeling entitled to access to personal things, and entitlement is where the problem starts. Because admiration turns into expectation turns into ownership turns into resentment. Listen to how some fandoms talk. These are real things I've heard on the internet that I have right here, by the way. This isn't my script. This is real things. This is coming from the Sterniola fandom and the Flamingo fandom. He belongs with blah blah blah. He would never do that. I know him. He wouldn't like this. We know what's best for him. And I've noticed something. Fans slowly start speaking like participants in the people's lives, rather than just observers. That's a warning sign, because no matter how much content someone uploads, you don't know them. You'll never know them, most likely. You don't know the version. You know the version of them that's presented online, and those are not the same thing. The platforms themselves are not innocent in this. Algorithms reward engagement. Possessive people generate engagement. Theory videos generate engagement. Drama generates engagement. The most invested viewers create the most activity, which means the internet often amplifies unhealthy behavior rather than discouraging it. The system benefits from emotional attachment, even when the attachment becomes unhealthy, because if you're liking and sharing and favoriting these videos, then you're gonna get views, and views mean more views, and more views mean more people see your content, more people get attached, which is that's bad. Here's what worries me most. A generation is growing up with almost no distinction between public and private life. Some people genuinely believe access equals intimacy. They've never experienced a celebrity culture without social media. So no boundaries are accepted. So no boundaries are needed. They're optional. But boundaries are exactly what makes healthy communities possible. Without them, admiration becomes entitlement, curiosity becomes surveillance, and a fandom becomes obsessive. I'm sitting cross-legged right now, and my foot's under my leg, and it's asleep, and I have to finish filming the video. Now time for my conclusion. The internet has convinced people that watching someone's life is the same thing as knowing them. Newsflash, it ain't. You can watch hundreds of hours of content. You can know every story they've told, every joke, every controversy, every friendship. And at the end of the day, we're still looking through a window, not sitting in the room. Parasocial relationships are human, even. Almost unavoidable. But the moment someone starts feeling entitled to information, attention, access, or control over another person's life, that's when something has gone wrong. That's because being a fan should never require being an investigator. And being interested in someone should never mean forgetting they're a stranger. The internet has made everyone accessible. The challenge now is remembering that accessibility isn't the same thing as permission. Let's look at my dirty art room and the filming setup that I'm in right now. I am having a blanket because it's really cold in here. Chromebook, aka script, is on my lap. This video is going to come out by tomorrow, I hope. It is currently Chromebook turn on 12:05 January 6th, so I'm hoping to get this out by January 6th, just when it isn't 12 in the morning, because posting at 12 in the morning, bad. But yeah, my room's really dirty because we have our maid coming soon, so I don't see a reason to clean. Also, we're going to California soon. We're going to vlog that. Make sure to watch it because I need it to be a tax write-off. Love you all so much. Bye. Editing Emma like an hour later. Forgot to tell you, there are gonna be less videos coming out till next month because I'm doing theater and it's been Monday through Friday and I'm really lazy, so I think I might start filming Friday night, posting it Saturday or Sunday. Hope you guys don't care that much because I've been trying to get more consistent. Love you all so much. Bye.